Okay, so I am going to draw a shape which is going to be like a water tank which is on a type of table-like structure. Okay, so for this reason I'm just going to set my unit setup, the unit setup into centimeters, and the shape what I'm going to draw is going to be a bit huge. That's why I'm just going to change my home grids. Each space is going to have 25 centimeters, and I want to see a measure line in every 4, means after every meter, and I want to see in total, let's say 8 boxes, means 2 meters in all directions. So here's my grid system. Okay, what I will do first is I want to make this perspective view to look in big in size. So I hit the Alt W, and here I am. It looks filling my screen. The first thing what I will do is I'm just going to draw a table, actually the legs of the table structure, or we can call them pillars. So I am going to draw a box. That box is going to be, I dragged the side by mid mouse key, hit and drag. Now I'm just going to draw something like this, no matter the sizes. After I draw it, while it is selected, I came to modify section. From the modify section, I define the length as 25 centimeter. The width is 25 centimeter too, and the height is 100 centimeter. Here I have a box which has 25 by 25 by 100 centimeter dimensions. What I will do now is I just want to copy this pillar, let's say 3 more copies, because I need 3 pillars which the table will stand on. After I click the select and move, I'm selecting my object. The point in here is I will hit the shift key and I will select one of the axes. I'm selecting one of the axes, and then I'm dragging it apart. Whatever the space what I'm having now, when I release my mouse key, will have the same amount of space in every object what I'm going to generate. Let's say I'm going to generate 3 copies, so they all have that space in between them. Why we select only one axis while I'm making that drag issue? What if I hit the shift and the box in here, for example, and drag it in here? Okay, here it is. If I release it and I say that 3 copies, okay, looks like that's fine. But if I see from the left, look, see, they are elevated. So do not drag by all axes active. It's better to drag it by only one axis. That makes more, let's say, better in look. Okay, here I am again. So what I will do, I'm just going to undo it, and I will drag from the x-axis with the shift key. So here I just duplicated for, 3 times. So here it is. Now I'm just going to build a structure of the top of the table. So top of the table, what now I'm going to draw is going to have the 25 centimeter the width from one leg, 25 centimeter width from the second leg. So the table what I'm going to draw is going to have 150 centimeters, because 25 will be fooled by the 2 legs. I want a 1 meter clear space in between 2 legs. So what I'm going to draw in here is I just click this and the box again. I just draw something roughly. So now I'm modifying it as having the length as 150 and the width is 150. The height, I don't want it to have a huge height. It is 25 is okay. Okay, so this is the top of my table, and on the top of my table I just drag it here next to the pillars. On the top of the table, I just want to draw a cylinder, and on the cylinder I want to make a type of, let's say, shelter, or what we say, a cone shape. So here I am, I select the, again, create section. In here I select the cylinder, and the cylinder is having a size like this. Now I am going to put the cylinder on the top of my table, and I want it to be just touching to the edges, So my table was having 150 by 150 dimensions, okay? So the radius of this cylinder, what I'm going to generate, must be the half of the 150. Do you got this reason? 150 is the whole length. What I want to put on this table is supposed to just circle around that huge table. And if I want the both ends are touching, the radius should be the half. It is 75 centimeters. So here, when the cylinder is selected, I'm just changing the radius into 75, and let's say the height is going to be 100 centimeters. Okay, that's it. You can put it in here. So we have the cylinder. Now what I need at last is that cone shape, which is going to protect it from the rain or, let's say, sun, such so. So here I select again the create section. I select the cone, and I just roughly draw the cone. Okay, no matter how it looks for now. Actually, this is a cone, but that's not in the shape what I prefer to see. This cone is now, okay, has been generated. So let's modify it. The cone what I'm planning to have in here needs a little bit greater in diameter of the, let's say, our cylinder. Our cylinder was having 75 centimeter the radius. Let this one have, okay, 85 centimeter the radius, the base radius. So 85 in here. I want it to be pointed. So if you want it to be pointed, it is 0. Here it is. And I want it to have the same height of my table. The height of my table was 25. I'm just going to make it into 25. So here it is. Okay, let me just get back to the perspective look in before. Here's my shape. Actual shapes. They all are ready to build. Now, first thing, actually, let me just say, well, I don't want to say it anyway. The first thing is, I must decide the height of the table. Then I need to put the legs of the tables under it, then the cylinder and the cap of the cylinder. Okay. Now I'm just going to drag these shapes, okay, them all a little bit out from the scene. Let them stay there. I'm just going to bring the table at first. Here is actually, I'm just going to make one more step. I want to copy these stuffs here, one copy only. There's a reason why I make this. Now, let me zoom in here, okay. Now let us build our table with the stuffs on it. Here I drag it in, okay, let me just bring it in here and here and here. This is the table, what I have. I want to put actually the leg under it, which is here, okay? And the other leg, okay, which is here, okay? And the other leg, which is here, and the last leg, which is, okay, here. So all the legs are here. Now I'm just going to bring my, let's say, the box, which is here. here. Okay, let me just bring it in here. Okay, here it is. And I'm just going to bring the cap of it here, here, and here. Okay, so what I have is that shape. Am I right? Now, I just want to show you one stuff. Now, I select them all, and I'm just looking them now. I ignore the others. Let's see this shape, what I have generated in different looks. From the left look, it looks like this. Hence, it is having a shape like I prefer to see. But from the left, it looks like this. From top, some legs are so away from the table. Okay, from front, again, the table looks like standing on a solid state, but the legs are somewhere, table isn't somewhere, and the other parts, actually, they are not. If I just come to perspective mode and if I look at it from here, okay, so actually it looks like same, it looks like okay, but actually they are not. So while we are drawing a shape, we must draw the shape in different looking angles, so you will have a precise, let's say, drawing. Clear? That is why the perspective look is not always working fine for us. Yes, that is flexible, but not that good for drawing in all aspects. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to select them all, unisolate them, and delete them all. So let me just draw the same shape. Let me just draw the same shape, but this time in a proper way. This time I'm going to draw it in a proper way. So first step is, I need the base of the table. Sorry, I need this part of the table to come to the middle of the stage. So if I want it to the middle of the stage, what I need to do is I just need to say the x-axis to 0, y-axis to 0, and the z is 0. So now it is at the center of my scene. Clear? Now let's make another stuff. Here I have 4 pillars. Let me align them accordingly, just the vision. So I am going to see them from the top look. I hit the letter T. So now I'm seeing them in the top look. Okay, sorry. Okay. And now I'm going to drag them and place them in these boxes. So here I am. I just drag it in here. Okay. So I am going to drag this one in here. I'm just dragging somewhere almost okay. You can do the math in here too. You can do the math in here too. But I don't interest in it yet. Okay. It is going to be a bit tricky. What you need to do, you need to take the half of here, because the 0 is in here, so half is down. And you need to take the half of this box, because the pivot point, I'm in the point where we are focusing on the movings, is in the center of it. We will just do such stuffs in the further studies. After these are okay, I'm just going to drag it in here. Okay. And the final one, I'm just going to drag it in here. Those looks okay for now. Let me just see. Yeah. Now, it looks okay from the top look. Let me see from the left look. From the left look, that is also fine. From front look, that is also fine. So now I'm just passing the perspective look. Now, the height of these pillars were how much centimeter? 100 centimeter. What I will do, I will just pick this base and I will elevate it by 100 centimeter. Okay, now it is just touching on the top of those pillars. Now, what I am going to do about, what I'm going to do about aligning these stuffs on this table is going to be a bit easier. Now I'm just going to select these stuffs. I'm dragging them in here for working better. What I will do in here is I'm just going to align this cylinder just on the mid top of this table. That is going to be very easy. I am going to use a tool in here which is Allign. So this is my target object, and this is the object which will move, and it will be aligned accordingly here. Let me see. Okay, I select, I guess, something wrong. Cancel. Okay, this is going to be aligned with this box. Now I select the true one before I select the back leg. Okay, now it is having the same X, same Y, and the same Z of the current object and the target object. So if I say it okay, now it is in the center. What I need to do is I just need to push it a little bit up. 100 centimeter was the legs, 25 centimeter was the table's height. So 125 centimeter the range what I should push it up. So when I just come in here and I will just say that 125. Here it is. It has been positioned well. Now the last thing is I'm just going to position the top of it. So I select it, again align with this object. Now here it is. What I want is actually, okay, X, Y, and Z's are okay. I'm just going to, okay, let it be like this in the first tries. 125 was the base of the cylinder, and 100 meter is the height of the cylinder. 125 plus 100, it is 225. So if I just bring the height in 225, that is now the top in here. So this is the shape what I have recently drawn. Let me see the same shape from different looking angles. This is from the left, this is from the front, and this is from the top, and this is from the bottom. So that looks pretty okay for me. Let me just even move freely according to this box in here. I'm seeing the object and they all are fitting well into their positions. See that? So while you are drawing it, you can use the math tools down in here X, Y, and Z. Plus, you must see your object from different looking angles. Do you got this? If you just look from the perspective view and try to draw from the perspective view only, that will actually lead you something wrong. So I am going to stop the recording.